Hello, it's John Heaton, and I'm back after Easter and picked up a few things in England, which I wanted to show you, and a few orders from Discogs arrived. Before I take you through the vinyl, I want to tell you about this CD. I picked this up in Sister Ray in Berwick Street in London. This is the 2004 remix of Rock and Roll, supervised by Yoko, and I was on the lookout for this because she did an outstanding job with the remix of Mind Games, and this was apparently similarly well remixed, and it's not a disappointment. I got it back here and I played it, and there's several things which are different about it and improved versus the original mix. For a start, you can hear Klaus Voormann's bass playing a lot clearer, and whoever's playing bass in the Phil Spector sessions as well. Guitars are crisper and clearer. There's a couple of tracks are a few seconds longer here, like Do You Want to Dance, for example, at the end when John's saying I'm not quite sure, that's right at the fade out, but it goes on for an extra 5 seconds here. And Bebop-A-Lula, there's a couple of seconds at the beginning of that, I noticed. And even tracks like which are not favourites of mine, like You Can't Catch Me and Do You Want to Dance, I found myself really quite enjoying them and playing them. I've played this album twice through since I bought this CD, and it really is the best mix of rock and roll. So check it out. Make sure you get the right one, because there's several CDs of this album available, and the one in the shop will probably be the recent one. But check out specifically this 2004 version, because I think you won't be disappointed. I mean, I noticed the bass on Ya Ya was jumping out of the speakers, made that track come alive. And the bonus tracks on here are very nice to have. Angel Baby, nice to have that right at the end of the album, so you can play it almost as if it's on the album. And then a couple of throwaways, like To Know Her Is to Love Her, the Spectre track, and not a great version of that. And Since My Baby Left Me is from the sessions, quite interesting but not very outstanding, in a short reprise of Just Because, when he says hi to Paul, George and Ringo. How you doing? So that's quite nice to hear. So that was Rock and Roll. Then I'm going to take you through some singles I got. So this is a Spanish picture sleeve single. It's not actually on the Apple label, it's on the Odeon label, but it wasn't expensive. I Shot the Sheriff picture sleeve single from Eric Clapton, with a nice colour picture of the album cover it comes from, 461 Ocean Boulevard, the album it comes from. On the back there, the famous disco song Le Freak by Chic. I didn't have this in my collection, so I picked that up. ELO's Hold On Tight from the Time album, nice picture sleeve with the lyrics on the back. It's again from Spain. Picture sleeve of Bob Marley's Could You Be Loved, advertising the Uprising album on the B-side, again from Spain. Elton John picture sleeve single for Sorrow Seems to Be the Hardest Words, with the Blue Moves cover in miniature there, backed by Shoulder Holster. The famous single from M, Pop Music, which I didn't have in my collection, so I picked that up, nice to have. The big #1 hit for Brotherhood of Man, Figaro, probably my favourite Brotherhood of Man song. Nice picture sleeve for Sunday Girl from Blondie, Spanish, advertising parallel lines on the back. The lead-off single from Eat to the Beat. You'd be happy to see this, Richard McCook, because this is your favourite Blondie song. Didn't have that, nice to pick that up. A song from Clout called Save Me. I thought Substitute was the only song I knew, but I checked this out on YouTube, and it's a good single. I think it's their second best song after Substitute. Chris Norman and Suzi Quatro, superb duet, Stumbling In. Nice picture sleeve single there. Again, these were not expensive, I'm telling you. They were a bargain. I think this new lot I'm showing you is from Germany, actually. If You Can't Give Me Love, Suzi Quatro's classic song from, I'm not sure, 77, is it? Does it say? 78. Great picture sleeve there. Imagination, probably their best single, Just an Illusion, which I remember well from university years. the Bee Gees Tragedy, and Richard, I did pick up a Bee Gees CD, Greatest Hits, so that was a gap in my collection which is now filled, and I saw this picture sleeve actually at the record fair. No, this one's from Germany, but I did pick up a couple of cheap singles at the record fair I mentioned last time. Boney M, Mary's Boy Child, picture sleeve from Germany. An interesting picture sleeve here of Eat It Home from, yeah, is it Germany? It's on the Odeon label. No, it's Spanish, this one, sorry. Backed with Smile Away. Funky Town Lip Sync, I had this in my top disco songs, but I didn't actually have it on 45. This was all the way at number 1 at my top 20, and it's just nice to have the picture sleeve. Village People YMCA, picked up a copy of that. Nice to have the words on the back there. And Dylan George Jackson, never had this on single, not even without the picture sleeve, I don't think, or maybe I did, but I lost it. It's got an acoustic version on one side and a band version on the other. Still on the lookout for the Rita May song, which is the B-side of the live version of Stuck Inside a Mobile, which came out in '76. But that's not cheap on Discogs. I haven't found a reasonably priced one of that, so that's another gap in my collection, the song Rita May. This is a very nice picture sleeve for Hurricane, with the Spanish spelling of hurricane there, it seems. Rubin Carter, the boxer, who the song is about, pictured on the front there. And again, like a lot of these Spanish singles, has the words on the back, so very nice for anyone buying that single at the time, and nice for me to have that as well. And the same goes for this Dylan single. This song, Saved, was not a single in England or the US, I don't think. It may have been, but this is a Spanish copy, and yeah, it's got the words on the back, so lovely picture sleeve there. And this is a Brazilian copy of Mal of Kintyre, which I had to pick up in Camden last weekend. I was in Camden, North London. If you see this label, the Wings logo there, the Wings name, is in Venus and Mars lettering. I don't know if you can make that out, but I thought that was interesting. So that's added to my collection of Mal of Kintyre picture sleeves. Now we've got a Greek pressing of Ram, and this is interesting because if you compare the cover, it's a lot more orange than this is my UK original. So contrast, that's quite interesting. And this comes on the Greek apple, which looks like this, and it's in good condition. So I think this is about my 4th copy of Ram I have now, and this is a Greek copy of Wildlife, which is very interesting because they obviously thought it wasn't commercial enough to just put the album out without any writing on the front, so they in big letters, Paul and Linda McCartney, Wings Wildlife, attributing the album to Paul and Linda McCartney and calling the album Wings Wildlife, which is a bit strange to say the least. On the actual label inside, it doesn't credit it to Paul and Linda McCartney, but it's interesting that the cover there did. And here you can just see, it says Wings Wildlife, almost as if it's the album title. And no mention of the fact that Wings is a band. Anyway, I thought it was very unique to have this Greek pressing of Wildlife with the lettering on the front there. And then yesterday, I picked up this Yugoslav Mind Games, which is very interesting because, you won't believe this, it's on a gatefold sleeve with the lyrics inside. So very nice to have this on gatefold, and very unusual. Never seen it on any other pressing. And this was a bit more expensive because it's quite rare. And this is the Yugoslav apple here. And just delighted to have this on gatefold on a slightly different green apple. In Camden, I picked up this No, this was from Sister Ray in London, actually, this one. This is an Italian version of the Time Waits for No One compilation, with the inner sleeve, which is nice, and musician credits there. And this compilation was covering 1971 to 1977, so you would have thought there'd be some overlap with Made in the Shade, which was a 74 compilation, or 75, but very little overlap. I think Bitch is the only song, and Angie, sorry, those two are the only songs which are on both albums. So there's no Brown Sugar here, there's no Tumbling Dice. I don't know if that was conscious to try and minimize the overlap, but on this particular compilation there's only one track from It's Only Rock and Roll, Time Waits for No One, the title track of the album here. One track from Sticky Fingers, Bitch. One track from Exile, All Down the Line. 3 tracks from Goat's Head Soup, Dancing with Mr. D, Angie and Star Star. And then a track from the live album Love You Live, If You Can't Rock Me, Get Off My Cloud. And then 3 tracks from Black and Blue, Hand of Fate, Crazy Mama, which wasn't even the single, and I don't think Hand of Fate was either, and Fool to Cry. So very interesting track listing there, and nice to have that. Had never owned that album. Picked up Blondie's debut, nice copy of that in Camden, in a small shop in near the Lock. Not expensive. And then I'd been after this Fleetwood Mac album, Mystery to Me, which was about the last one I intend to pick up, I think, on vinyl. Nice to have this on gatefold, good picture of the band there in the middle. And I don't think this is a great album, but it was a gap in my collection and I wanted to have it on vinyl, and I found a copy in Camden. So that was my goodies that I picked up over Easter and just before. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.